Glad you could join us for 7:30 News Bulletin. My name is Fales Chizombe. First, the headlines.
Vatican condemns inhuman suffering in Gaza, urges renewed peace efforts. Uncertainty looms as court delays ruling on Kainja corruption case. Malawi embraces digital transformation through EU ITU broadband initiative. And in other news, Sudan's devastating floods kills 30 and left thousands stranded.
We do have the details to this and more. Stay with us. The Holy See's Secretary of State has condemned the continuing suffering in Gaza as inhumane, as the world marks 2 years since the Hamas attack on Israel that unleashed massive destruction in the region. In an interview with Vatican media, Cardinal Pietro Parolin looked back on the 2 years of conflict that have caused deep anguish for both Palestinians and Israelites, urging the international community to intensify efforts for peace and reconciliation. We do have a Vatican News report read by Charite Chiranga.
Cardinal Pietro Parolin denounced the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel, describing it as an inhuman act that unleashed unprecedented destruction and loss of life. He acknowledged that although the assault was indefensible, the humanitarian situation in Gaza has since worsened dramatically, with civilians suffering the greatest toll of the conflict. He expressed deep sorrow over the plight of innocent people, especially women and children, who continue to face bombings, displacement, and severe shortages of essentials. What we see in Gaza today is truly inhuman, he said, reiterating the Vatican's call for an immediate ceasefire and restricted humanitarian assistance and the resumption of meaningful dialogue between the warring sides. Commenting on the global outcry, Cardinal Parolin said he was encouraged by the many peace marches and demonstrations taking place worldwide, describing them as a sign that humanity still longs for peace, compassion, and justice. He urged world leaders to heed the voices of ordinary citizens demanding an end to the violence. Addressing the surge in anti-Semitic incidents reported across the globe since the conflict began, the Cardinal issued a stern warning. He concluded by echoing Pope Leo XIV's ongoing appeal for peace and mutual respect among all peoples.
The Financial Crimes Division of the High Court in Lilongwe is yet to make a ruling on the Anti-Corruption Bureau's request to discontinue a corruption case involving former Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Kainja. The case is linked to business person Luntha Sattar's alleged corrupt dealings with government officials. Confirming the development to Luntha Television, ACB Senior Public Relations Officer Jacqueline Ngongonda said the move follows a precedent set in similar case where the High Court ruled that certain evidence obtained from the UK's National Crime Agency could not be used in court. Robert Edward has more details in this report.
After his arrest in June 2023, former Inspector General of Police Dr. George Kainja, along with several other former government officials, challenged the use of evidence obtained from the UK's National Anti-Crimes Agency. According to the Anti-Corruption Bureau, ACB, the High Court's ruling in a related case involving Ashok Nair and former Lands Minister Gezin Sukwa determined that some of the evidence from the UK could not be admitted in Malawi's court. In an interview with Luntha Television, ACB Senior Public Relations Officer Jacqueline Ngongonda clarified that the Bureau's decision to discontinue the case does not mean it has been permanently dropped. She explained that the law allows the Bureau up to 6 months to resume proceedings if necessary. Dr. Kainja was arrested in 2023 on allegations that he received a bribe from businessman Zuneth Satar to influence the awarding of a food ration supply contract to Satar's company. At that time, the then SEB Director General Martha Jizuma had also arrested former Vice President late Dr. South Chilima and former Minister of Lands, among others, in connection with Satar's alleged corruption dealings. For Luntha, this is Robert Edward.
The Women's Manifesto movement has described the September 16 parliamentary and local government elections as a significant success in advancing women's representation in decision-making positions. Speaking in an interview, Lingalile Mihoa, a leading figure in the movement, said the outcome of the elections reflected growing national support for women's participation in politics, citing the increase in female members of parliament as a major step forward for gender equality. Charite Chilanga reports.
Mihoa applauded Malawians for backing female candidates at the ballot box, noting that despite facing campaign challenges such as limited funding, many women still managed to contest and win seats. She highlighted the critical role played by communities and supporters who contributed not only financial resources but also emotional support that kept candidates motivated throughout the election period.
Presented themselves. We had 331 women that were certified by NEC as the candidates. Now we have 48 women. That's a big plus. And the quality of the women is also very good. If you look at their credentials, you'll be satisfied that these are women that are going to contribute well towards our policies, our budgets, and our laws. And let's not also forget to celebrate the fact that we do have women that were in the last cohort. They have been able to be retained, 15 of them. Women that were not chosen in the previous elections have come back, the likes of veteran Patricia Kaliati.
Mihoa also pointed to the appointment of Justice Dr. Jane Ansah as Vice President as a historic milestone, describing it as a powerful symbol of progress in women's representation at the highest level of government. She urged to continue collaboration among stakeholders in advancing the women's rights agenda, emphasizing that sustained collective efforts are essential in achieving long-term goals for empowerment and equality. In the most recent parliamentary elections, 48 women were elected as members of parliament and will serve their respective constituencies for the next 5 years.
Security analyst Dr. Sharif Kaisi has praised President Peter Mutharika for appointing Lieutenant General Jaffe as commander of the Malawi Defense Force and Commissioner Richard Luhanga as Inspector General of Police, saying the decision marks a significant step toward enhancing national security and rebuilding public confidence in the country's security agencies. The appointment of the new Inspector General comes alongside two deputies, one in charge of administration and the other overseeing operations. We have more details in this report, filed by Gift Kalonga.
A day after being sworn in as President of the Republic of Malawi on the night of October 5th, President Peter Mutharika appointed Lieutenant General George Alexandria Jaffe as the new commander of the Malawi Defense Force and Commissioner Richard Luhanga as the Inspector General of Malawi Police Service. In addition, Dr. Noel Kaira was named Deputy Inspector General for Administration, while Rosten Chaima was appointed Deputy Inspector General for Operations. Speaking to Luntha TV, security expert Dr. Sharif Kaisi said the appointments of Lieutenant General Jaffe and Commissioner Luhanga represent a significant move toward strengthening national security and rebuilding public confidence in Malawi's key security institutions. Dr. Kaisi highlighted the critical role both the MDF and the Malawi Police Service play in maintaining peace and stability, which are essential for national development. He noted that leadership changes in these agencies are common with new government as they seek to align with security sector with their vision for progress.
Provision institutions of this country. More especially when you talk of the internal security, the Malawi police has been always struggling, having some wrangles with the masses. People look at them as if they are doing their work not because they are serving the nation, but rather serving the government of that particular day. And not in fact the government of that particular day, but rather the political party which is ruling at that time. So there's always like an invisible hand that forces them not to do their work professionally.
Dr. Kaisi also stressed the importance of restoring public trust, particularly in the Malawi Police Service, which he said has sometimes been perceived as favoring the ruling party interests over the public. He urged the new Inspector General to ensure the police act professionally and uphold the rule of law without political influence. He further noted that Lieutenant General Jaffe's long service and exemplary conduct make him a highly qualified choice to lead the military, expressing confidence that his leadership will help maintain discipline and peace within the force. For Luntha News, this is Gift Kalonga.
Remember, you're watching news on Luntha Television with me, Fales Chizombe. We'll be back with more after this break.
Vatican condemns inhuman suffering in Gaza, urges renewed peace efforts. Uncertainty looms as court delays ruling on Kanja corruption case. Malawi embraces digital transformation through EU ITU broadband initiative. And in other news, Sudan's devastating floods kills 30 and left thousands stranded.
Kulipia school fees kwa kupheka tsopano. Listen the fees by Airtel Money. Muta kulipia school fees mosavuta kudzera pa foni yanu. Tsatirani ndondomeko zotsatirazi. Choyamba, imbani *211#. Pamene yomwe mutapatsidwe, sankhani 8 kuti mulipire fees. Pitirizani posankha 1 yomwe ndi sente fees. Kenako mudzafunsidwa kuti mulowetse admissions number. Kuchoka apo, mudzaona skulu yomwe mufuna kulipira komanso dzina la ophunzira. Onetsetsani kuti zonse ndizolondola. Pitirirani ndi kuyika ndalama zomwe mufuna kulipira. Lembani pini yanu ya Airtel Money kuti muvomereze kulipira. Ndipo nthawi yomweyo mudzalandira SMS yotsimikiza kuti zatheka.
Ife Maranatha Natural Healing Ministries tikuthandiza mavuto osiyanasiyana.
Munthu ine ndakhala kudwala nthenda ya mgonamgona. Kupita ku chipatala anazota kulu BP yanu yakwera kwambiri. Ndinafika posiya kuona kumakhala nyumba ineyo satuluka. Koma nditakwitsa ntchito mahebo Maranatha ululu unatha ndikuona patali olomota ndipatsa singano kuti ndike ulusi ndiyika mbota ineyo.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Ndi atanthi yesa bwinobwino ku chipatala ndimene amene kuti tikuona kuti munthu tupa ziwiri sakula kwambiri komanso mtima wanu kuoneka kudontha madzi ndachita ndithu kuchokera ku Maranatha.
Chinthu chochinali chotupa kuti ndimange tayi ni makanika tayi makhapa mba pachotupacho olo kuti ndimange mabatani zimaoneka kuti mkati mukhakana ndayikamo kanthu kena kake umbono ndina kuti ndachita kuchokera ku Maranatha.
Ine mapenda adandiphata ine adali yasima esesani musachedwe pitani ku Maranatha.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Ukapita ku Maranatha kwagula mankhwala mukupanga za moyo wa inu mukupanga za moyo wakaza komanso mukupanga moyo wa ana.
Maumboni ochuluka akuperekedwa tsiku ndi tsiku.
Mahebo akupezeka mashopu onse a Maranatha muno Malawi. Phone 0888 381 131 kapena 996 867 190. Maranatha Natural Healing Ministries, mabanja athanzi, dziko la thanzi.
Wakusina kutu ndi nasi.
Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, you're watching Luntha News coming to you live from the Chumneve Media Center. Before we proceed, another look at the headlines.
Vatican condemns inhuman suffering in Gaza, urges renewed peace efforts. Uncertainty looms as court delays ruling on Kanja corruption case. Malawi embraces digital transformation through EU ITU broadband initiative. And in other news, Sudanese devastating floods kills 30 and left thousands stranded.
Moving forward, the Director of Telecommunications at the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, Edward Kauka, says the National Broadband Mapping System marks a major milestone in Malawi's journey towards universal Internet access. He said the initiative, funded by the European Union through the International Telecommunication Union, will help identify connectivity gaps from Chitipa to Msanje, enabling strategic investment in digital infrastructure. Kauka made the remarks earlier today in Lilongwe during the official opening of Africa Broadband Mapping National Event, which will run through the 9th October. We have more details in this report, filed by Judith Ogan.
Kauka said the project will not only improve accessibility but also address affordability challenges by guiding future policy and investment decisions. He said Macra and its partners will use data from the mapping system to develop targeted interventions that close the digital divide and strengthen Malawi's position in the regional digital economy. He added that the initiative will also help address affordability challenges as data-driven insights will guide strategies to make internet access more cost-effective and equitable for all Malawians.
Currently, we have not yet put up the time frame, but as you know, this is a new system that we want to introduce in Malawi. So ITU, after the training and after the stakeholders meeting, we're going to sit down as a nation and plan together with different stakeholders so that at the end of the day, probably beginning next year, then maybe this project can be rolled out.
ITU project manager for broadband mapping initiative, Dana John Camerson, said the initiative will help ensure that both rural and urban areas benefit equally from broadband expansion. He added that mapping will provide crucial data to avoid duplication of effort and promote inclusive, well-planned digital growth across the continent.
We want to be able to harmonize the broadband systems in Africa, so mapping it will help us to see where the gaps are, because Africa is really underserved in terms of broadband connectivity, and the aim is to be able to spread this out to further countries after we have hopefully succeeded with the 11 countries we are working with now.
The mapping system is expected to provide crucial guidance for targeted investments, ensuring that both rural and urban areas benefit from improved connectivity. By combining detailed data and strategic planning, Malawi is poised to reduce the digital divide, provide access to online service, and strengthening its role in the regional digital economy. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Judith Ogan.
The Ministry of Gender, through the Task Force on Mental Health, has commended Malawians, especially those who contested in the just-ended September 16 general elections, for showing calm and maturity after the Malawi Electoral Commission announced the results. Chairperson of the task force, Misha Gimdambo, says they are pleased with how candidates have accepted the results, describing it as a positive step in promoting mental wellness across the country. Mdambo says the task force carried out several awareness campaigns before the election to prepare candidates and their supporters on how to handle both victory and loss. He says this effort has helped reduce cases of stress and depression compared to the previous years. Emmanuel Chocha reports.
According to Ndambo, the campaign involved experts, civil society organizations, and community leaders who used radio and public meetings to spread mental health messages. He says it is the duty of government to ensure that its citizens are mentally healthy and productive, adding that the task force work has already showed positive results.
That the awareness that we did supported the people that were actually participating in the general elections, and they understood the public awareness that we had, and also the other members of the general public had. So the task that is remains to us is now following up with the cases that we had, how people are getting on in terms of accepting and taking them forward so that they should get stabilized and back to normal to continue their family care, and also supporting the public, that is in terms of the work that they were doing. So it's what we are currently doing after we had stabilized them.
Ndambo has since encouraged Malawians to continue supporting mental health initiatives beyond the election period, saying a healthy mind is a key to national progress. Malawi has been facing an increase in mental health cases, hence the ministry thought it wise to reach out early to those involved in the polls to prevent emotional breakdown and election-related tensions. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Juocha.
And in sports, President of the Netball Association of Malawi, Vilimbiko Gubuduza, has praised the outstanding performances of the various netball teams that participated in the One Nico Top 12 Championship. Speaking at the final tournament held in Lilongwe at Don Bosco, Gubuduza highlighted the fierce competition among the teams, which ultimately led to a thriving final. This event saw the Blue Eagles netball team emerge as champions, displaying not only exceptional teamwork but also a commitment to excellence, and that set them apart from the rest. Patrick Pupa has more in this report.
Blue Eagles Netball Club has emerged as the champions of the One Nico Top 12 Championship over Kukoma Diamonds with a score of 37-29. This victory solidifies Blue Eagles' reputation in the Malawi netball scene and highlights their remarkable performance throughout the tournament. Gubuduza congratulated the team on their achievements and commended their skill and teamwork, which were pivotal in securing the championship title. She further encouraged all participating teams to continue striving for improvement and to push their limits in upcoming competitions.
At the deliberate approach in terms of their support, including capacity building of coaches and umpires, you will see that those form the best places or the basis from which Netball Foundation can be built on. So for us, we're really excited that, they are going to grassroots netball, they're going into scouting, but at the same time, they're also supporting the teams or the queens. So you can see that, there's going to be a lot of improvement coming in because all critical areas within the sports administration are being touched on.
She acknowledged the fierce competition from top teams across the South, North and Central regions, which added excitement and intensity to the tournament. In recognition of their outstanding performances, Blue Eagles Netball Club received a cash prize of 5 million kwacha as champions, while Kukoma Diamonds, the runners-up, were awarded 3.5 million kwacha. Silvernets, finishing in third place, received 2.5 million kwacha, and Tigress, who ended in fourth position, took home 1.5 million kwacha. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
And in other news, devastating floods in Sudan's Nile state have killed more than 30 people and left thousands of others stranded. Authorities say flooding of the Blue and White Nile rivers have destroyed hundreds of homes and worsened the country's already dire humanitarian situation. We have an Africa News report read by Patrick Pooper.
Residents describe a night of terror as floodwaters surged through homes and farmland. We were surprised by the floodwaters, says Ramadan Ali. We were asleep, and at around 1:30 in the morning, the floods arrived. We woke up, we couldn't find a way to combat this massive amount of water. The amount is massive, and we couldn't bury it late at night. But we are currently working to drain it. Our situation is truly terrible, really terrible. Everyone here is suffering right now, honestly. A lack of equipment and resources has frustrated local initiatives to mitigate the damage, while heavy rains continue to hinder movement and rescue efforts in some low-lying areas. Other states hit by flooding include Blue Nile, Algeria, and Khartoum. In River Nile State, residents say the disaster could have been avoided. Heavy rains fell, but planning errors by the Abdul Hamad locality in River Nile State are the cause of this disaster, says Abdul Sam Hussein. They planned animal pens and shops in the floodwaters, and these people ended up in the floodwaters, and what we see happened. Sudan's Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation had area identified 6 states at significant risk of Nile flooding this year, including Gaza State and Khartoum. Authorities have called on citizens living in vulnerable areas to take all necessary precautions. Egypt, which has also seen flooding in the Nile Delta, is pointing the finger at Ethiopia. Cairo says its newly opened dam on the Blue Nile near the border with Sudan is responsible for rising water levels. Addis Ababa has denied releasing excess water and says the dam has helped reduce the flooding.
That's about what we had time for in this edition of the news. Before we leave you, a reminder of our top stories.
Vatican condemns inhuman suffering in Gaza, urges renewed peace efforts. Uncertainty looms as court delays ruling on Kanja corruption case. Malawi embraces digital transformation through EU ITU broadband initiative. And in other news, Sudan's devastating floods kills 30 and left thousands stranded.
You have been with me, Fales Chizambi. Thank you so much for watching, and keep on watching the rest of our programs here on Luntha Television.